They told us it would last forever. The deep, guttural growl of the HEMI, the heartbeat of the modern American truck. But if you're looking at a Ram 1500 right now, you're looking at a ghost. The HEMI is gone. And in its place, the Hurricane. A lot of you are confused. You're reading the forums, you're seeing the headlines, and you're feeling that familiar itch of anxiety. Is this new engine actually a breakthrough, or are we paying to be the test pilots for Chrysler's experiment? I'm a mechanic. I don't care about marketing brochures. I care about what's on my lift, what's breaking, and what's leaving customers stranded. Today, we're going to strip away the noise. We're talking about 2025 Ram 1500 problems, the reality behind the 36 Ram 1500 electrical issues, and the cold, hard truth about 30 Ram Hurricane engine problems. If you're deciding between the last of the old school or the first of the new, watch this entire video. It could save you or cost you thousands. The shift from HEMI to Hurricane. Let's talk about why this shift is happening. It's not just for fun. It's emissions. It's fuel economy. It's the relentless pressure of government regulations. Ram needed to do more with less. They needed to pull the same power or more out of a smaller package. Enter the Hurricane. It's a 3.0-liter twin-turbo inline-six. Now, on paper, it's a beast. More horsepower, more torque, faster spool-up. But here's the mechanic's reality check. Complexity is the enemy of longevity. The HEMI was a pushrod V8. It was simple. You knew where the oil went. You knew how the valves worked. The Hurricane, it's a sophisticated, high-pressure, twin-turbocharged system. It's light years ahead in technology, but it's light years more complicated. When people ask me about 27 Ram 1500 reliability, I tell them this: reliability is a function of complexity. The more moving parts, the more sensors, the more turbo plumbing you have, the more points of failure there are. I've talked to guys who have 200,000 miles on their HEMI with nothing but oil changes. Can the Hurricane do that? Maybe. But the jury is still out, and until I see a Hurricane engine with 200,000 on it, I'm going to stay cautious. That's not being a hater, that's being a realist. When people ask me about 2027 Ram 1500 reliability, I tell them this: reliability is a function of complexity. The more moving parts, the more sensors, the more turbo plumbing you have, the more opportunities there are for something to go wrong. It doesn't mean something will go wrong, but the risk increases. I've talked to guys who have 200,000 miles on their HEMI with nothing but routine oil changes, spark plugs, and basic maintenance. Those trucks have become legends because they've already proven themselves over years of real-world abuse. Can the Hurricane do that? Maybe. The performance is certainly there. The engineering is impressive. But the jury is still out. Until I see Hurricane-powered trucks stacking up hundreds of thousands of miles across construction sites, towing routes, and daily commutes without major issues, I'm going to stay cautious. That's not being a hater. That's being a realist. In the automotive world, reliability isn't something you claim. It's something you earn over time. The evidence, electrical issues, and early reports. Now let's get into the topic that's been lighting up my DMs. I hear a lot about 36 Ram 1500 electrical issues. When you shift from a mechanical-heavy platform to a software-heavy platform, you're trading mechanical wear for software glitches. We are seeing reports, some from forums, some from right here in the shop, about the new ECU in the communication between the engine and the transmission. These trucks are basically computers on wheels. If the signal from the throttle position sensor to the turbo wastegate controller has even a millisecond of lag or a bad ground connection, you get limp mode, you get reduced power. It's frustrating because it's not always a mechanical failure, it's an electronic one. This is what the researchers are seeing when they track 27 2025 RAM 1500 problems. It's often sensor-related. If you've experienced this, you know the feeling. You're driving, you expect the power to be there, and suddenly, it's gone. Is this a permanent flaw in the truck? I don't think so. I think it's teething issues. Every time an OEM launches a completely new powertrain, they have a learning curve. Ram is going through that curve right now, and early owners are paying the price in dealership visits. If you've experienced this, you know the feeling. You're merging onto the highway, pulling a trailer, or simply accelerating from a stoplight. You expect the power to be there, and suddenly, it's gone. The truck isn't broken, but it doesn't feel right. And that's enough to shake an owner's confidence. Now, do I think this is a permanent flaw in the truck? No, I don't. I think we're looking at classic first-generation growing pains. Every major manufacturer goes through this when introducing an entirely new platform or powertrain. Software gets updated, modules get reprogrammed, and engineering teams learn from real-world customer feedback. The challenge is that early adopters are often the ones helping identify those problems. Ram is going through that learning curve right now, and for some owners, that means extra dealership visits, software updates, and more time spent troubleshooting than they'd like. The good news is that software issues can often be fixed. The bad news is that owners have to live through the process while those fixes are being developed. Mechanic's truth. What should you do? So, where does that leave you? Do you scramble to find a remaining HEMI, or do you take the plunge on the Hurricane? If you're a heavy tower, if you pull a fifth-wheel trailer across the Rockies every single weekend, or if you plan on keeping this truck for 15 years without touching the engine, the HEMI is, and probably will always be, the better, more predictable choice. It is a proven commodity. You know how to fix it, and parts are everywhere. But if you're a daily driver, if you want the performance, the instant power of those turbos, and if you're planning on leasing or upgrading every 3 to 5 years, the Hurricane is an incredible machine. It's fun to drive, it's faster, and as long as it's under warranty, you're shielded from the risks of being an early adopter. The key is this: do not skip the maintenance. If you run a twin-turbo engine on cheap oil, or if you run it hard and shut it down immediately without letting the turbos cool, you are going to have a very bad time. The Hurricane demands a higher level of owner discipline than the HEMI ever did. If you can handle that, you'll be fine. The final word. This is the most important part of this video. I want to hear from you. I'm reading every single comment. If you own a 2025 or 2026 Ram, whether it's a Hurricane or you manage to snag a HEMI, tell me your story. Tell me about the glitches. Tell me about the power. Tell me if you do it again. We need to build a real database of owner experiences because the official channels aren't going to tell us the whole story. If you've dealt with these 30 Ram Hurricane engine problems, put it down below. Let's help each other make informed decisions before that next big purchase. And if you want to stay ahead of all the 30 Ram 1500 common problems as they pop up, make sure you hit that button and join the community. We aren't just talking about trucks. We're figuring out what's actually worth our hard-earned money. I'll see you in the comments.